how
Yeah.
people are. You
Everybody,
know how
please pray for us.
definitely, definitely. I appreciate that news. I was going to ask anyway, but yes, pray for my cousin Tracy. She and her husband run a Jamaican restaurant up in Westchester County, New York.
They have two now.
Oh, they got two.
They just opened up another one. Uh, I think it was back in October.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's well, that's considering situation that's good. It's always good to have some positivity in that
yeah,
direction.
yeah.
And so how's your store stuff going?
So my business, we are
Yes.
transitioning now. We're starting to sell hats as well as belts, and he's going to start making bow ties to go with the hats, and we're going to start um, how is it, upcycling the hats. These are new hats, but we're going to spruce them up a little bit and make them match and stuff like that. So we kind of slowed down a little bit. His DJing is picking up more versus us out there selling. But I just made a couple of more ties, different designs. I'm trying something different. I let my creativity uh, get out there. Because I'm noticing after I started selling them, a lot of other people started selling them. So I got to make mine a tad bit different, to
And
make it.
and also you still need to advertise
Yeah, I do.
and
I
make sure that
see
your
a lot of
make sure
people
that
now.
your stuff is straight.
Yeah, I see a lot of people who, like Miss Millie, she started making ties. And she was making something else that I was making, and she's selling, but she's actually advertising. She's on there every day, trying to show her ties and selling them. I haven't gotten the what's the word I'm looking for? Motivation to do that as of yet. But in time, I figure once we get this wedding business, I only got 7 more months left. Once we get this wedding business out the way, him and I can really, really concentrate on, just the business because we're also trying to add to his DJing. We're trying to add a photo booth as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so he built me a photo booth stand, and I just got to get the programming and make sure that I have the right equipment to get to properly set that up. I'm going to create my own background so it could be interchangeable for weddings and parties and stuff like that. So we're working on that as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So on that thing of good news, and make sure you guys get what you need. And if Chocolate Pearl Store, she'll come Golden Girls Creations. If you didn't know, I'll put out a few commercials in the near future. But
We get this straight. I catch my 13-year-old brother smoking some of that dog.
hold on.
However, he still rats on me at Thanksgiving.
Hold on.
He's since taken him.
So with that, Miss Kim, what you got anything going good this year? I know we just
Uh,
started.
Going good. Other than going on vacation next week, nothing coming up. Nothing that I know of.
Okay, okay, okay. Miss Sum,
Hey, hey,
everything.
everybody. Happy New
What
Year.
what you got? What you got going good this week? Happy New Year.
Um, ooh, I offhand, I can't really think of much right now. It's going to be a year coming up in June that we're in a new house. So there's a lot of things that I want to get done in the house. But
That we
other
still
than
ain't
that,
see.
well, and that's why I'm getting everything ready now. But I'm just waiting on the weather to change. I'm ready for a lot more sunlight than what we have. I'm just ready to be outside a little bit more. So I'm just looking forward to spring and summer.
But you always sound like you outside.
Oh, you got jokes.
Hey, we got a slushy machine. So we
Oh,
can bring the slushy machine.
oh yeah. Okay. All right. So that is a date. That is a
That's
date.
that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Hey, oh, Miss Apple's on today. My sister from the same mister, the lady that's sweet as Snapple. What's going on, Miss Apple?
Hey everybody. Excuse me. How's everybody doing this week?
Hey, it's a new year. I don't want to hear none of that new year, new me crap, because y'all know we gotta be doing the same old. It'll be the same old, the same old, same old. You know what I mean? So no new year, no, because you noticed last week I ain't asked about no resolutions because I don't want people out here lying on themselves.
I don't do resolutions because
Oh,
ain't
I
nothing but
know.
that's nothing but
I'll be like, I resolve to eat more, gain weight, drink and smoke.
believe in diet and I don't believe in resolutions. Those are the two main things I do not believe in because all of it's a lie. I'd rather you say that you're going to try to do better in your life and try something new. That way you said you're trying and you're not going to make it a resolution. Also with the diet, you can say that you're trying to, I'd rather you say you're trying to eat better or eat right versus my resolution is to do this. You know you're gonna lie to yourself. I'd rather you say you're gonna
Oh
try
yeah.
to eat.
Oh no, I got you. That's what's up. That's what's up. It's like I ain't gonna start off the year with a lie. Cause I'm like I said, that's why I said I'm gonna gain weight. I'm gonna gain weight. I'm gonna drink more. I'm gonna smoke more. I'm gonna party more. And I'm still lying because I ain't gonna do none of that. Well, I
Exactly.
will eat. I will eat more, but not much more anymore. But
I love everybody. That's a good thing. It wasn't even trying. It's
but
just
if it
called.
was easy, yeah, I'm about to say if it was easy, anybody can do it. But that
It's,
it takes discipline, and sometimes I be out of it.
yes.
I'll be out of it.
You can't eat out as much. You can't go places as much. You choose to stay home.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that's because our pockets,
that's what that's what it's
we
called. I
even
love
got.
it
I
because
can't even say I got beer. I can't even say I got beer budget. I ain't even. I got like I got
Kool-Aid.
tap water budget.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's it. Sugar water without the
But
sugar.
oh, don't say that. Don't say that. For all y'all that didn't know when we grew up, we couldn't afford the O&R, so we were po.
Yeah.
And part of that was drinking. Now, my sister drank sugar water. I drank it one time and was like, nah, I can't do that. I just drink that regular nasty tap water.
I couldn't
But
drink the water.
couldn't afford the Kool-Aid. So but we had sugar, or we borrowed some sugar.
Yep.
We borrowed
Or
some sugar. Yeah, sugar
never
water
go store
and
friends.
bologna sandwiches.
You know what I said? I remember going door to door for ingredients
Hmm.
to fix a meal. I'll
Oh
borrow
yeah.
some bread from somebody on the fourth floor, go on the sixth floor, get some milk, go on the first floor and get some butter, go on the second floor, get some sugar. Every floor I would get something and come home and I even got my groceries for free. And we ate good.
Oh yeah. That's what's up. That was definitely what's up. It's I understand not everybody grew up the way we grew up, and some people had a lot more. But what I realized is that we didn't know we were poor. We knew we were broke, but we didn't know we were poor because poor is a is not actually a mind stock. It's a mindset because you always gonna be broke. People be broke. I used to say, um, you know, broke is temporary. Said poor is a state. Poverty. You got that poverty mindset. You can't see your way out of it. You can't see how you can't see tomorrow, and that's one thing we never had. We never didn't see tomorrow, unless I'm wrong. What about you, Apple? Did you ever feel that you didn't see tomorrow when we were growing up?
No, because the type of parents we had, that's all
Yeah,
we had to look forward to was tomorrow.
yeah,
I mean, I
definitely.
know like people in our situation, they probably, didn't couldn't see the end of the rainbow, but they always gave us, they always taught us that we could do and be whatever we wanted. We just had to work at it. Well,
And,
that's the take that I got, growing
Yeah,
up. So
and
it
yeah,
wasn't like,
yeah,
quitting wasn't an option. You had to do it. Don't tell me you can't do it because you didn't try. And if you try and fail, you try again until you get it. So I never thought that, oh, that what was me crap. That's just okay.
yeah,
We weren't able to do this. Okay, let's try it this way. But we're gonna get it accomplished and we're gonna do it. So to answer, long story short, no, I didn't have that attitude.
yeah. No, I can attest to that. How about you, some? I know you grew up a little different. But did you ever think you were broke or poor?
No, I didn't. I never felt that way. Looking back now, um, like growing up, I remember my dad had a stereo system on these cinder blocks, and he made his own kind of like wall unit type thing. Um, we had like just a couch. We didn't have that much furniture, but I never felt that we did not have. I remember just uh Sesame Street and going outside and being outside all day and just coming in the house and eating and just being exhausted. And so I don't nothing ever stood out to me to make me feel like we were in poverty or anything like that. We lived on we so part of my childhood I was raised in St. Croix, the Virgin Islands. Dad was stationed out there. And then when we lived in New York, we lived on Governor's Island. And we used to take a ferry to the island. And I always thought that that was like our own little magical island and stuff growing up. So I had a wonderful childhood. They always kept us busy.
Y'all actually lived on Governor's Island. That's crazy because I ain't never known nobody
Yeah.
live over there. I know they
Yeah,
had
we
military
lived.
housing over there, but I didn't realize that people actually lived there.
Yeah, we lived on Governor's Island. Uh, our our apartment where we lived at, because we lived at a couple of different apartments. When Dad was stationed, I think I remember living there twice, and each time we had a bird's eye view of the Statue of Liberty. So
Yeah.
we could literally stand and just look at her like with a perfect view, and we never
Oh yeah.
thought anything of it. That was just the way of life. But yeah, we had a wonderful childhood.
Yeah, that now being growing up in New York, I knew where Governor Island was all the time, that and Fort J. However, we ain't never been over there. I mean, like I said, only time New Yorkers go to the Statue of Liberty if they on a school trip or the Empire State Building they used to take us to the things that we look forward to as kids was Ringling Brothers.
yep.
We went to Ringling Brothers once a year. We went to the Bronx Zoo because that was the
Mhm.
best. That the Bronx Zoo's the best zoo of all. They got other zoos, but ain't no zoo like the Bronx Zoo. And sometimes, when we had money, we would go to Coney Island.
Yeah.
We had to have money because you
Dad would
can't.
borrow, Dad would borrow was it Mr. Cookie? No, what was Maurice's dad's name?
Who's dad?
Mo's dad, I
Oh,
meant.
Rooney, Big
That's it.
Rooney,
Yeah. They used to have he used to borrow his station wagon and we would
station
go
wagon. Yep, with the seats facing backwards.
facing backwards and me and Lil Mo will always fight to sit in the back so we can and yeah, we would go to Coney Island ever so often. But when we went, we had a good time. Yeah, and that
Yeah,
was those are the things, like you said, those are the small things. People look at it now, it's like, oh, that ain't nothing. But back then, that was your entertainment. That was your big surprise. That was your I can't wait till this happen type situation. Because we didn't believe, we not necessarily we didn't believe, but we couldn't afford to say we're going on vacation, you know.
vacation. What's that? I can say that now.
Exactly. What's a vacation? You went to I've at, even though my siblings, y'all three or four, I think Preston went with y'all too, um, went to South Carolina or not South Carolina, Georgia when y'all were younger. I never got to leave. Uh,
You were doing your summer job. That's why, because I had just graduated from high school. I remember that trip. I don't. Kendra was at
I wasn't there either. I didn't go.
yeah.
Yeah.
You was at Fresh Air Fund.
yeah.
You was at
Now,
you was at Fresh Air
what I
Fund.
was looking forward to was summer camp.
Oh
Kendra and
yeah.
I actually got to go to Boston every year for several years, and I think to this day she is still friends with her summer camp family. Um, Mine was the Peters, either Peterson or Peters, and I love going there too. But I hate the fact that they didn't believe in lotion, and I was always ashy because we always
No,
Yeah, you
I got real life pictures of how ashy I was. Knees,
like
ooh, those
no,
knees,
making
child.
sure that we had some lotion on after we got out the pool. So we walking
those
around naked and because them
like
braids
looking
on
like Mary Kate and Ashy.
yeah, the braids in our hair, it had to last the whole summer. And you keep going in and out of the water, them braids ain't gonna last. They're gonna start
And
puffing up
see,
and
but the
start
thing is, your families had pools. We only had the River Park pool.
that's
I went
true.
to, I think I went 1 year. I think I went to Fresh Air Fund 1 year, and I went to like a boys' camp.
Oh, okay. No, we actually got to
Yeah.
stay with family. Yeah, we
So,
actually
Miss Kim, when you were growing up, Miss Kim, did you go to like summer camps? I know you did Upward Bound, but did you do summer camp or anything like that, or go away, or
Mm, no, I didn't do any summer camps. When I was younger, because my dad mainly worked 7 days a week. So in the summertime, we did take, vacation. We would either drive to Cincinnati, Ohio to see my dad's brother or fly to New York to see my mom's sister in Jersey to visit, because a lot of my mom's sisters live in New York and New Jersey. And then as I became a teenager, I did get in Upward Bound and we would take trips through Upward Bound. Yeah.
that's what that's what's up. Different there, and that was kind of the difference between growing up in the relative country and growing up in a place like New York City. What's going on, Big Al? I know our Saints lost the last game, but did you really expect them to win? We were trash this year, but maybe we have a halfway decent quarterback. We just need to get people who can actually tackle folks. What's
Oh
going on
yeah.
with you, Big Al?
Yeah, well, me and my family were there. There were 14 of us there for my kids and grandkids every year. When the Saints play Atlanta in Atlanta, I just get us a block of seats and we go down for the weekend. So we hung out, had a good time. So we represented Who Dat Nation well. And but of course we lost. There were a lot of questionable calls in the game. That touchdown that they called back, alleging offensive holding and just some other things. And we only lost by 3 points. And to show you how the Falcons are, they fired their head coach and general manager the next day. So I thought that was really bad after only 2 years. And the leadership made some decisions about their quarterback, paying him $110 million, $100 million guaranteed, with Rasheen Morris had nothing to do with that. So you
But I
just
knew they
had
were going to fire him though, because he didn't do the team should have done a lot better. That's
yeah.
and going back to the Saints, I think the NFL has it out for the Saints
Oh yeah,
because you remember the NFC, the Vikings in the Vikings in 2014, in
the
2016 with
the Rams.
the Rams. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that was you talk about mad. You
yeah,
talk about mad. I was mad. I'm like, you don't see that. You don't see that pass interference right there. Obvious pass interference. And
right.
dude said, "Yeah, and he said it after the game. He's like, "Yeah, I got some pass interference because I think we'd have beat the Patriots." But anyway, let me get off that rant because this ain't a sports show.
Right.
But
But you always talking about summer and summer camps and Upward Bound. Yeah, for me during the summers, I was either a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout, and we went on camps and jamborees during the summer. And as I got older, I had a job cutting grass. That was my gig. I charged $1 or $1.50 a yard, and these were big yards that people charged 90 to $100 a cut, and I would do it for $1, $1.50. But that was a good little summer hustle for me as I got bigger. But I never did any camps other than Cub Scout and Boy Scout.
and that's, I mean, like I said, it's different. you know in New York, you really didn't have we didn't really have yards to have to mow, and then they had the housing people. When we went to our uncle's house, he lived in a town called Freeport, and it was on Long Island. And like that was really the first time that we actually seen grass like a yard. My cousin had a little net that you throw the baseball at, and it bounced back, and they had a Great Dane called Jumbo. Y'all remember Jumbo, right?
Yes, I
Right.
do. He was
But
a Great Dane, and he looked like I always remember Cujo.
yeah.
The new So that's how I would describe him because that's how big to me he felt that he was that giant. But
Oh
now that
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember at all.
you don't remember him, oh my goodness, he was.
No,
Yeah, when they lived along, you remember when Uncle Johnny lived in Long Island, right?
vaguely, but I don't remember at all.
Yeah, no, trust me, Jumbo was hard to forget.
Yeah,
That dog was big.
he
That dog was,
he looked
that
like
dog, that dog,
he was Cujo movie.
yeah, that dog was big. Just think Marmaduke.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Or yeah,
but
Marmaduke was big.
he looked like, but he always drooled, always had
Oh
drool
yeah.
coming the size of his face.
Oh
It was
yeah.
crazy. Because then when he shook his head, all that drool was
All
all over
that
the.
drool yeah, yeah, that's true. But anyway, that was us when we went out into the suburbs, and they had grass. They didn't have sidewalks, but they had grass, and they had a yard, and they had a front door with a screen. Yeah. If you lived in New York City in your life, and you live where we lived, and there was a door with a screen, that was like that blew my mind. I remember um my best friend, his then girlfriend lived out in it wasn't suburbs, but it was out in Jamaica, and upper middle class for black people. And I used to just stand in front of their door. It was when Stephanie moved from Astoria to Jamaica, and
Mhm.
we be out there, and I just stand in the door. It's like, why are you standing in the door? I ain't never seen no screen before. I wish I could get one. I wish I could get one of those things. You know, in perspective, when you don't have, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
But we grew up on those melanated parents, melanated boomer parents was like, you bet not go over there and act a fool. That was like sin number one. And that's one thing we did pass on to our kids. I
yeah.
said, you better not act a fool. And
I remember because of our growing up, my kids, when they went over to their friend's house, they would always come back hungry. And I was wondering why. So you've been there all day long. These people didn't feed you. And come to find out that they were being respectful and never asked for anything to eat.
yeah,
I said, why? He said, you told us never to go over nobody's house and be begging. Oh, that's true. But if you've been there all day long and they fed their kids, you need to eat too.
if they ask, if they ask, it's okay, but you don't ask.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't
That was our
understand.
that was our rule because I know my best friend Will. I used to go over his house and he's like we about to eat, and I get up and get ready to go. So where you going? Y'all about to eat? No, I said we about to eat. Like what kind of what But that was the thing though. We all had our group of friends, and they kind of knew our situation, so they would feed us so we didn't have to ask.
Right.
We didn't have to ask,
You
and that's
never have to ask. Miss Helen never asked me ever. Even
and you know
when I went after I grew up and moved to South Carolina, and I would go back every year. Um, I would go over to her house, and she would actually let me stay there instead of going into a hotel or staying with family members. And then when her daughter had moved uh, to 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 Georgia, and I would go back to visit. She said, "Well, you're coming to stay with me, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so she would actually give me her room, and she'll go sleep in the living room. So that's how much, you know, she took care of us like that, like we were her children. And I love that because I never had to pay for a hotel room. I never had to pay for food when I went over to her house as a younger kid. She would always, when she bought stuff for her two daughters, she bought something for me. So I love
and
that when
she would give me money to take Beverly to the movies.
she
I
did.
remember that. I remember that she used to get free tickets.
Yeah.
She used to get free tickets, and she like, you want to go to the movies? Yeah, I want to go to the movies. Here's some money. Go take Beverly. I'm like, okay. That was those were the days. Now, Miss Kim, growing up, did you stay over at anybody? Did you ever stay over at anybody's house or anybody stay at your house?
Oh Lord, that was hard to do. My mama didn't play that, going to stay with other people. No. Now, if I did want to stay with someone, she got to know the mama, the daddy. We practically was almost related to them. But
Mhm.
just going to spend the night, my mama didn't play that. Mm-mm.
And
No,
that was like that's kind of like that with us too. What about you, Miss Sum Sum?
She probably stepped away. Ask Al.
Big Al, did you ever spend a night over a friend's house when you were growing up?
Not friend's house, but relative's house. I did that a lot, but no friends.
Oh no, we trust me. We stayed. My father kept us at my
Well,
cousin Tracy, who's currently going through a little something right now. Her mother and my father, that was like his favorite sibling because we was over there at least twice a month. And she had seven kids, and he had seven. So you can imagine. So yeah, oh, we were going to relatives' house, and then my mother's sister lived around the corner. They lived around she lived around the corner, and then my other aunt lived about maybe about 10 blocks from there. So we were always around family.
Mhm.
We was
But
always around family. I'm talking about friends.
it was a choice of who house you could stay at. If it wasn't a relative, I think mine was. I actually was able to stay at. If it wasn't Lee's house, which is upstairs, it would be Tracy's house. Those are the only places I was able to stay at. That's not family. I don't know. Kendra, she got to stay across the hall at
Miranda's house.
yeah, Miranda.
No, absolutely not. I don't know what childhood y'all live. I was at Stacey Hayes' house all the time.
Well, no, we consider her family. That wasn't. Yeah, we consider her family.
Yeah,
I didn't.
that
I
was.
didn't spend a night. I didn't spend a night at Mirangelin's house like that. I would be over there, but I wouldn't spend nights. I would be
Oh,
over there and I would go to church with them.
what
Maybe
But as
about
Kate.
far as
Denisha?
like, what about what?
I
Denisha
said
used to live in
over there.
4011.
That wasn't my friend. That was Tawana's friend, Denisha.
Oh,
Oh, I never stayed at Denisha's house. That was my friend.
oh,
My friend was
okay.
Christina. I
Christina, that's your Douglas's sister.
right. I
Okay.
never spent nights over there because she had a gang of kids in the two-bedroom. So it was never,
Oh,
Christina was the only girl. It was like four boys and Christina. So her mother didn't play that. I could come,
yeah.
chill, and then go home. Aaron, I stayed with Aaron a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they stayed over our house a lot too.
Yeah, but other than that, when I got to junior high and met Rokaya,
Yeah, that was a different
before
story.
then, oh, Michelle Coleman, I stayed at her house a lot. Miss Sherry house, but that was like if you say Stacy is like family, so was Miss Sherry
I was gonna say
like
Yeah.
Michelle.
family too. So
Yeah,
Those
that's I mean,
like Barbara Millinger, they weren't considered friends. They were considered family.
right,
Because
yeah, we
our
stayed over there too.
child was thick and thin. If you got a whooping from one, you got a whooping from all type thing.
right. So like, yeah, I don't remember really staying with friends like that because mommy kept me and Farah close. Especially Farah. We really couldn't do what you could do. We couldn't do that. We were like under the wing more, more or less, so to speak. We couldn't really. I couldn't leave from in front of the building while y'all was on from block to block to block. She had to be able to look out the window and see me sitting on that bench. You know what I mean? So I
Oh
couldn't even go
yeah.
to where the stagecoach or the basketball court. I couldn't even go over there. I remember one time I snuck myself over there and somebody told on me and she came and drugged me back to the house. I learned my lesson. I was a good girl. I
Look,
wasn't like these
look,
hooligans.
look. Hey, our father Kate got me from 2 blocks over. It's
Yeah.
like you, yeah. So you wasn't the only one. You wasn't the only one. I'd be out there playing basketball, and he'd be like, and I see him, and you know how he had that walk? He'd walk like real fast, and I'm like, why is he coming over here? And he's like, ain't you supposed to be upstairs? But I'm playing, Daddy, I'm playing. He's like, play your ass upstairs while I play
hmm
your ass.
I couldn't. Yeah. If y'all don't remember, I couldn't even go across the street to the park.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
I mean that was kind of that you couldn't go without one of us. You
Right.
couldn't go
Right.
without one of us. And I ain't like to go to that. I ain't like the baby. I ain't like the little park. So you want to go with me?
Exactly. So I was stuck on that. No, them three benches in front of the building. That's it. That was my
Now,
childhood right there.
Yeah,
now, Big Al, you grew up at a different time. Did you and your siblings have that where if one went, you had to take your younger sibling, or were you the younger sibling and somebody had to take you if they wanted to
Uh,
go somewhere?
Now, I was the oldest, so I had to take my younger siblings with me, and they were like stair steps. In fact, I have two brothers who are the same age for 3 months during the year, meaning my mom gave birth and immediately got pregnant again. So I had 5 brothers, and they were stair steps. Wherever I went, I had to take my young brothers with me. So,
So that
That,
that that seems universal. That seems universal. Like, and you know, I had sisters, so I'm like, I'm not taking you with me anywhere. I'm going to go play.
I
yeah,
was up extra early in the morning. That's how I learned how to get a hustle. Because I got up extra early in the morning, and then I would go out there and hustle and go door to door to see if the older people needed me to go to the store and stuff like that. So Kendra and Farrah never really got to hang with me like that because I was out there hustling some money.
right.
And
I needed some more pantyhose. That was my thing. I bought stockings that matched every outfit. That was my fetish. I had to buy stockings that matched my shoes, that matched my outfit.
yeah, but that's, but that's a good, the fact that we have memories like that, that, especially being black in America, and I don't hate to say this, it's just a fact, is that, without family, you don't have hope. Without hope, you just exist. And if you just exist, it ain't not, don't nothing matter. Family and friends are important. Unfortunately, over the last 20, 25 years, it's gotten less important because we all busy trying to survive and we're doing our own thing. So when we do get together, we try to make it as special as possible. But feasibility and the fact that people move everywhere is that, because right now we're in 5 different cities, and it ain't like it's a you can just catch a train and be there in a couple of minutes. And you live in Big Eye, you live in Georgia, and your people live in Louisiana. Miss Kim living in Virginia, and her people in Georgia. Miss Sum got people in Jersey and New York, and she live in Virginia. It's not like you can just get up like back in the day. Everybody was pretty much in the same area. We were in 2 places. We was in Queens or we was in the Bronx.
Huh.
Until we got a little older and we was in Manhattan.
Yeah, but those were like, but our family was within reach, and
But you know
since
what's funny is y'all have all these memories of going up Aunt Margaret's house and Aunt Rosie's house. I wasn't a part of that. I was too young. Mommy didn't let me do half of the stuff that y'all were able to do, like go to different boroughs I couldn't do all of that. I was stuck in Queensbridge all the time.
Yeah, and you actually only time that I do remember the only time that you did go is when you went with either us or our parents to those people's houses. You never got a chance to get on the train and go just by yourself. So yeah, I do remember that portion of it. Mostly you and Farrah were at Grandma Francis' house or
Yeah,
Grandma.
now there, yeah, because Denisha's, me and Denisha were the same age, and Farrah was always at Papa House.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I didn't get to hang out with the cousins like you guys did. I didn't get to, like Tiny said, she was always at Aunt Margaret house. I don't remember that because I wasn't involved in that. I would be at Aunt
yeah,
Emily house a lot, but that's about it. Grandma house, Aunt Emily house, and that's it. And home. That's it.
Andre, I didn't realize that we actually had a better childhood than they did in a sense.
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah. In a sense,
yeah,
but I never felt like I was lacking growing up because I did have all the older siblings. Y'all didn't have us feel what y'all knew was going on. We didn't feel that. I want to say at least I didn't. But when y'all moved away, that's when I became the oldest and I had to take over the role that y'all and I had to shield Farrah from things that she shouldn't know about. So while you guys were there
yeah.
and I was, in my single digits going into my double digits, I didn't know that we were as bad off as we were. I know about the borrowing things and stuff like that, but I didn't really have to do that. I didn't really have to like see the trauma that you guys did because y'all shielded me and Farrah from it. I
Oh yeah.
appreciate y'all for that too. So I want to say I had a hard childhood, but I had a good childhood at the same time.
Yeah,
because
we can all say
yeah,
that.
growing up in the
It,
70s, boy, it was tough, tough.
oh yeah.
These kids wouldn't be able to take it.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you fully on that. There's some you still there? You awake? I guess she dropped. I guess she dropped off.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, no, I'm here. I'm sorry. I had to run downstairs real quick. I'm with you.
that's what is that what we really is that what we really gonna be talking about? Her downstairs. No, I know you had a different growing up, and you didn't have the hood grow up or the country grow up. You did mostly military or military adjacent. How often did you see your siblings? I mean, your parents' people, and how was that growing up?
So when we were in New York, uh, my mom and dad are from the Bronx, and then eventually growing up, I remember we when we were stationed in New York or around New York, we would spend a lot of time with family. So I am close with my cousins. My grandmother lived in Queens. We were fortunate to have a backyard. We had our Easter egg hunts, and
Oh, so
I remember
she lived
growing
out in
up.
Jamaica. She lived out on the South Side because when you say Queens, we know Queens, and ain't no yards where we lived
Yeah, she
at.
lived. Actually, she lived. I'm trying to remember what her address was. But she lived near Lenox, and her townhouse was right on the corner, right where there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken on the corner. And you could literally look out the side of her townhouse and look at the people ordering their food from the Kentucky Fried Chicken. But I remember um, just bits and pieces. For some reason, I remember because we lived on Governor's Island. I remember going back and forth to Harlem to visit my uncle and aunt, and that FDR Parkway, and riding on the
Oh
FDR
yeah.
Parkway. And my father had a Pathfinder, and I remember parking in front of 125th Street in Harlem, in front of my aunt and uncle's house, and the streets was flooded with Mary J. Blige. She had just came out, and that whole vibe of that feeling in the air, and her voice just resonated through the streets, and everybody just lifted her up. Her music was just everywhere, and it was just, I mean, certain things growing up in New York are just priceless. And the Bronx with the beef patties, and just certain places where the food just takes you back, and just I had a wonderful childhood. I would not trade. The only thing I remember as far as the family getting together, we went to FDR Park. Um, we had a lot of gatherings, I guess, at FDR Park. And that is primarily where we did a lot of, you know, barbecues and things of that nature. But I remember the family coming to Governor's Island, so we did a lot of things there too. So we had an awesome childhood.
Yeah, whenever we did picnics, we had a park across the street from us. The official name is Queensbridge Park, but nobody in Queensbridge calls it Queensbridge Park. We call it River Park because it's next to the river. When we would do barbecues on holidays, and when we went to go see our other people, we go to either Riverside Park, and sometimes we went to this park called Van Cortlandt Park, which is the second biggest park in New York City after Central Park. Now, Central, we didn't really go to Central Park like that, but because we thought it was mainly Caucasians that were out there, but we had in the five boroughs, each borough has a big park. In the Queens, it was Flushing Meadow Park. In the Bronx, it was Van Cortlandt. Manhattan, it was Central Park. In Brooklyn, it was Prospect Park. And Staten Island, I couldn't out. You know, we don't even really count Staten Island as a part of the city. You can't take a train there. You ain't from the city. Well, anyway, yeah, it was like that, and unfortunately, like I said, since we spread out over the years, we haven't we haven't been able to. Our kids couldn't enjoy the closeness that we had with our cousins, and it our cousin we still get together. Our kids, our children know each other, and they're all cool, but it ain't like it used to be when we were growing up. And that's the story of America, because we couldn't move. And 100 years ago, you really couldn't move, because of racial issues. And as we got, as our grandparents and parents fought for more rights, we got to move out. And then, that's why you wind up, you born in New York and you live in Virginia. You born in New York, you live in Florida. You born in New York, you live in Connecticut. You born in Georgia, you live in Virginia. And those things is that, and then you find your tribe. And that's basically what happens with a lot of us. We don't always look at how we're going. We look far ahead, but we don't really see it until it actually comes upon us. And we are, we're the collection of our experiences. Now, I used to say I wouldn't have it any other way, but realistically, at this late stage in my life, I could have did a few things differently. I could have did a few things differently, but I don't think I'd be the same person. So knowing what I know now, and knowing what I've been through, I'm glad that I did have the experience I did, because it helped me become the person that I am today. Not a perfect person, not a great person, just a person. And we're coming close to the end of the show, and I want to appreciate everybody who waited for me to get on, and coming on, and thank you out there in YouTube land and Facebook land, in TikTok land, in Rumble land, and Instagram land. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my fellow hosts, Chocolate Pearl and Apple. I want to thank Big Al for always being on. I want to thank Kim and Miss Sum Sum for always being on, always supporting me. Miss Nikki on YouTube. Also the Mad Hatter. I'm just glad that I'm able to do this show in 2026. Unless I tell you what, if you want us to talk about something, send me an email. All my contact information is in my profile. Like, share, subscribe. The more you comment, the better the algorithm works. I want to get some, like my man Matt Hatter says, I want some of Google's money. Give me some Alphabet money. And when I blow up, I'm not gonna blow up by myself. I got a team, and where I go, they go. So we're gonna make this thing happen. Before we go, I'm gonna let Chocolate Pearl say something, let Apple say something, and then I'm gonna get off my catchphrase. Go ahead, Chocolate Pearl.
All right, y'all. We thank y'all so much for joining us today. Even though we were off the cuff of everything we talked about, but sometimes you just need to have a good old conversation. And we thank y'all for listening. See y'all next week. Don't forget to share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell yourself, remind yourself to come back next Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you, Pearl. Now, Apple.
Good night, everybody. Like my sister said, thank you for joining. Hope to see you again next week.
And of course, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to say, take care of your family, if you as much as you can, and do what you need to do, because that's what you got. And it's not just blood. It's the family is who you allow into your life. And I'm gonna end it like this. Don't make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't.